An AEW star is injured just weeks after an in-ring return. Plus, a major WWE star's contract is expiring soon. And is there another NXT main roster call-up taking place? It's all in the wrestling news right now. We're sending best again to Rey Fénix, who had quite a spell out of in-ring work. And I'll start that again. Sending the bestest to Rey Fénix once again. What's going on, Andrew?
So, obviously, Rey Fénix made his AEW return on the April 27th edition of Collision. I believe he was in a match with, I believe, I watched it, and it was a really good match with the Beast Mortos. It was very, very good. And that was the first time he's been cleared to compete since October last year. However, Fénix was meant to be performing at House of Glory's Cinco de Mayo show over the weekend against Penta, but Penta himself revealed before the match that Fénix wasn't medically cleared to compete, and as a result, instead, Penta faced TNA star Laredo Kid. Saying we have no further details as to the nature of Fénix's injury or the time he'll spend on the shelf either, but just sending him the best because that match that he did have on Collision was so good and the crowd was so excited to see him again. Like, if he's not medically cleared, he was performing on all cylinders, and it's ridiculous how good that match was. So.
He was going for it,
He sure
if that was the case. Hopefully this is just a minor bump in the road, and it's something that we can update you on sooner rather than later. Obviously, best wishes to Rey Fénix. Kevin Owens in the news today as well, confirming exclusively to metro.co.uk where he's at contract-wise. So his contract, according to Kevin Owens himself, is expiring this year. His future with the world of wrestling somewhat uncertain. He said, I really don't take anything for granted. I have 9 months left on my contract, and I don't know what can happen from here on out. That's just life. If I've learned anything over the last few years, it's that nothing is guaranteed. Despite the uncertainty, Owens has said that he wants to stay with WWE as long as he can. So that should stop any AEW rumors. This has been my home for 10 years, and it's beyond the locker room. There are some very, very, very special people that work behind the scenes that I've become very close with, and I really cannot imagine not seeing them as part of my life. There was some conversations a few years back when Kevin Owens' contract was coming up, and the landscape was very different to the one that we're currently in, and a lot of people thought he would probably make that jump. I don't see that ever happening now.
I don't see that happening either at the moment. I think he's such a key and vital part of WWE as a whole. He is just always tremendous when he's on TV. He looks to be having the time of his life as well. And especially, but if you're looking to look after your family, not that obviously you can't when you're within AEW, because you certainly can, but I feel like he, like you said, he's very much sort of just looking to stay with WWE, stay where he's at the moment. And I can see that happening.
I can see him winding down and doing stuff behind the scenes. I can see him producing and being a real force there. I can see him moving into commentary if he wanted to. I think whenever he's jumped on commentary, he's always been great fun.
Well, that's it. He's so good at everything, isn't he? He really, really is. And so, yeah, he'd be such a valuable asset, as you said, behind the scenes, training wrestlers and imparting his knowledge onto the newer folk.
A Swiss Army man.
A Swiss Army man.
Like Daniel Radcliffe in that movie that time.
Yes, where he farts lots.
That's the only takeaway from Swiss Army Man.
But Kevin Owens farts talent. No matter what he might be doing, he always exudes gaseous talent. I don't know. He's amazing.
Kevin Owens exudes gaseous talent. I think we can all agree on that. PW Insider reported just the other day that Jerry Lawler, his status with WWE is uncertain. It's been confirmed now by PW Insider and Fightful Select that Jerry Lawler's WWE contract has expired. Which means that he's been on sort of a retainer deal, which led him to doing guest appearances on pre-shows and kick-off panels and commentary and stuff. And it led to a lot of people calling for a Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler reunion. And as much as I love Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler from back in the day, they are the voices of my wrestling childhood. To that, I personally say, no, absolutely not, no. Let's please just enjoy what they did before, please. Yeah. It doesn't look likely. Fightful explained that they inquired about whether this would happen, maybe a Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler team up in AEW. They said, when speaking with AEW sources, we're told that Lawler's name has not been brought up as a possibility. And outside of that, and this is a really key point, whilst Jerry Lawler's talent contract has expired, he has a Legends deal with WWE that continues on. This is the likeness deal that a lot of guys who aren't actively wrestling there have signed, that allows their name and likeness to be used on merchandise and video games and stuff like that, and they get a bit of a financial kickback for that as well. So I can't see him doing anything else that brings a WWE Legends deal into jeopardy.
Yeah, me neither. Him. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm with you that maybe like one little thing maybe would have been quite interesting to see him and Jim Ross if they were able to do something in AEW, just like a match or something.
Maybe they could just go for a nice dinner.
That would also be good. I wouldn't mind them doing that either.
That would just go for a nice dinner and have a chat about the things that you did back then. That'd be lovely. Obviously, Jerry Lawler himself has had some health issues recently, very well documented, and he's starting getting back out onto the scene a little bit more. He's been doing Comic-Con appearances. He did a bit with my best friend Jeff Jarrett at a sports game recently. Yeah. So he's getting back out and around there, and we send him our best wishes all the same. We'll end on a little bit of news regarding NXT and another call-up to the main roster.
Yeah.
What we got, Andrew?
Well, following numerous call-ups during the draft and conversations around Joe Gacy getting moved up to the main roster, the future of NXT announcer Alicia Taylor also looks bright. So Taylor has been replaced on NXT by SmackDown commentator Mike Rome, and Fightful Select is reporting that Taylor will move to the main roster. It's not been confirmed, however, if she will join Raw or SmackDown just yet.
Yeah, so Mike Rome taking over on NXT Tuesday nights, sort of going back. I believe he was there very early on,
I
if
think
memory
so, yeah.
serves. But this is a great shout for Alicia Taylor. I think she's one. I think in a world where obviously they WWE have Samantha Irvin, who is the finest ring announcer on planet Earth right now. We deserve to give flowers to Alicia Taylor, who is also excellent.
Unbelievable. Her calls are so good, and she just projects so perfectly. I feel like those NXT takeovers that she's done in the past,
War Games as well. Yeah, I remember her War Game stuff was fantastic too.
So spot on. So like her on the main roster, that is a really good get. That's a really good get and a great fit, I think, for her too. Because she definitely deserves the flowers, and that next step up, she deserves it.
I can't see them taking Samantha off of Raw. So I believe this might end up just being a straight swap, Mike Rome for Alicia Taylor and vice versa.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see that being the case. I don't think they'll take Samantha Irvin off Raw. I think
you're right.
She's
there,
fairly iconic with Monday nights. Plus Ricochet. Is Ricochet? No, I must admit, I'm about to say Ricochet's still there, but I know how much that you love it when I get stuff wrong. I can't remember whether or not he's on Raw or SmackDown or not. Either way, I think that he is definitely the guy for Raw.
Yes.
Also, well, regardless of wherever he is, Samantha Irvin most definitely the one for Raw. I would most definitely say. So Alicia Taylor on SmackDown is a lovely, lovely fit. In case you haven't heard it yet, I had a lovely chat with James Drake and Zach Gibson, the grizzled young veterans. They're involved in a new wrestling project called Burning Heart Pro Wrestling. They talk all about that. Plus, do you know there was a third member of Grizzled Young Veterans?
No? A third? Oh.
A third member of Grizzled Young Veterans. I would ask you
now, Tom, but I think we should direct the people to that lovely podcast that you've done.
And take a listen and find out who the third member of the GYV is. They talk about loads of other good stuff as well. That is waiting for you exclusively on the Cultaholic podcast feed. And of course, for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keith.
I love you, bye.